demonstrating shaking, installing a cartridge into a manual gun applicator, and dispensing the material from the cartridge. We've shaken the cartridge for approximately 2 minutes. We're going to remove this from the cartridge shaker. To install the static mixer, we're going to remove this nut at the top of the cartridge. So turning counterclockwise, we'll reverse the nut off of the cartridge, remove the capping disc, and remove this dual cap at the end of the cartridge. We could take that cap off with this little nut by grabbing the threads onto the cap and just popping that off like a cork. So we want to save the nut. We want to take this little cap out. You can save this for later if you want to reinstall for a partial used cartridge. You want to take your static mixer, place the bell housing end of the static mixer onto the cartridge, seat that fully, install the nut back onto the cartridge by turning clockwise, hand tighten. Now to install the cartridge into the manual gun, we want to depress this little tab at the back end. This is the release for the drive rods. You want to push that button, retract the drive rods, pull fully all the way in the back position. We want to open this cradle up so we can install the cartridge into the gun. Take the tail under your cartridge, place on the faceplate and into the back alignment plate. Now we want to take and push this tab, this release, and push forward with the drive rods. So we want to seat that against the pistons in the back of the cartridge. Now we want to go through a purge or phase cycle. We want to get the air out of the cartridge. So we want to hold the gun vertically. What I do is I tilt the cartridge to the side on one side, pull on the trigger a little bit, and push on these pistons. And we want to get some material pushing out of the end of the cartridge and into the static mixer. Now we're going to take that and we're going to reverse it and go to the opposite side. So we want to get air out of the other side of the cartridge here. So we want to press on the trigger, push material out. And once we're confident we have no air in the cartridge, we want to take and push and dispense a portion of this static mixer, maybe a full length of the static mixer of possible unmixed material, into a waste container. So we'll take and we've got a little bit of air. We see the air coming out. So we got about one static length of material pushed out of this cartridge. Now at this time we want to dispense material for your brush roll application. We could go into a small container, squeeze the handle, push out material. We have mixed material going into the container. Now we could take that for brush applications. We could go into a larger pan for a roller application. So at this time we could set the dispenser down. We could take our brush, we could dip it into the coating. We have mixed material. We could take and use that for a brush application.